Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Bible Study. I might have to do this one in chunks, so I'm actually going to read the Bible verses in chunks too. And I know that a lot of us have probably heard this a million times, so it might just go in one ear and out the other. But it doesn't matter how many times I've heard it, it's still one of the hardest things to do, and it's not worrying. So, let's start from there. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or stow away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? I'm going to stop there for now. So first of all, it says therefore. And in Bible school, I was taught when you see a therefore, you have to figure out why, wherefore, the therefore. So therefore. So this is following him saying you can't serve both God and money. So because you can't serve both God and money, and since you choose to serve God, or if you choose to serve God and not money, don't worry about the details of your life, where your next meal is coming from, or where you will get your clothes. Again, these are earthly treasures, and they shouldn't matter. The person is more important, the being, to God. It's more important than food. The body, the being, because it's God's creation. That is what is most important. I wrote here, no earthly needs are more important than heavenly needs of a child of God. So I do think our definition of need, my definition of need, could be seriously edited and made more concise, because I think I call a lot of things needs that actually aren't. And then he says, take a look at the birds. There's countless numbers of them. They're not unique. They're not rare. They're not made in my image. And there's a million blue jays. There's a million this, a million that. Maybe you don't see it all the time, but there's a million of them. They don't worry. They don't exhaust themselves and live a life doing nothing but chasing food and stocking it up for a rainy day. Birds don't save for retirement. A lot of times they are just flying or sitting in a tree or on a wire singing. These pointless creatures, God takes care of their needs. And this summer I spent a lot of time at the sunrise, sitting on the back deck, having my quiet time. And I got into a habit where I would sit still for 5 minutes. And what I couldn't believe, I said to Ted, it sounds like a rainforest back here. Because there were so many birds in the trees around us. And then if you watch, they were flying around, kind of chasing each other and playing and whatever. It was kind of funny to watch them. And they for sure did not look stressed. I didn't see little birds sweat, wondering about where they were going to get their next worm. So, they are pointless birds that God takes care of. But you are far from pointless. You are made in God's image for his glory. Do you think God would care for pointless, countless birds, but then overlook what you really need and not provide? You think he would give the birds what they need and then say, you know what, Nance, it's not happening today? That's crazy. Don't you mean more to him than some bird? I'm going to give a terrible analogy here. You know how you can sponsor a child a month? And there's also a program for sponsoring pets. And I have 2 dogs, so I have nothing wrong with pets. But when people choose to sponsor a pet over a human life, that would be the equivalent of God choosing to take care of the birds and letting you go and figure it out on your own. It's absurd. The human life should be number one. He provides the birds food and home because that is what they need. They don't have souls and they're not at the risk of hell. Our needs are different. than a bird, because we have more at stake. We do. There's way more at stake in our lives. And we have a big choice. Until the day we die, we have a choice. And that choice affects what happens after we die. And so that's a pretty crucial thing. And I don't think, gotta tell myself, God would not overlook that. I'm not just talking to you guys. I have to remember I'm talking to me too. Nancy, he's not just going to overlook you. You are more valuable than a bird. Okay, we'll finish more tomorrow, okay?